to questions.
Yeah, absolutely. It was obviously a crazy weekend. A lot of really close games, two evenly matched teams, I thought. And it's kind of ironic. I said this morning to someone that we sent our team video of the Hagler-Hearns fight, 1985, round one, which many think was the best round in the history of boxing. So if you hadn't seen it, go look it up. And just kind of talked about two guys coming out and getting after each other, throwing haymakers and not stopping. And I think the weekend kind of lived up to that billing. I thought it was two really good teams that, if you're a fan of college baseball or baseball in general, I thought it was a great series. And obviously we'd have loved to have won it, but even splitting it, I think you got to appreciate the baseball that was played on both sides. And we have a lot of respect for their program. And it was just, I think somebody said the final score, all 8 games, 48-47. So just proud of our guys. They never stopped, even in the third game, I guess would be game one on Sunday, when they hit the 5 spot in the first inning, and we came back and hit a 4 spot, and it was back and forth. And Manny got into one, just didn't quite get it, almost had a walk-off in game one, and then to be able to hold on there in the 7th inning and minimize that inning, get us out just trailing by 1. And knowing we had the top of our lineup coming up like we did at Rice the weekend prior in the game we came back on, we knew Taylor would do everything he could to get on base, and usually when he does, we score. And he was able to do that, and now we got 3 of our best hitters coming up. First 2, Wells Bates obviously had good at-bats, didn't get it done, and then Manny obviously got into one and hit the walk-off. And, you know, that's the beauty of baseball. We don't have a clock. The players will let you know when the game ends, and you just keep playing to the last out's made, the last strike's thrown, and that's kind of the beauty. You don't have to worry about a clock running out, and just really good baseball. It was great. I think we're the 2 best teams in our league. Have not seen Old Dominion and Charlotte. I know they play each other next 2 weekends, 8 straight, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out and watch them beat up on each other like us in Southern Miss. But very proud of our team. I thought to get out of the 8, 5-3, I thought says a lot about our program, where we're headed, and we need to keep moving forward. We got another big weekend. It doesn't let up. And Marshall, I know everybody's going to look at their record and say, hey, you should handle them, but Marshall's always given us trouble. They're very athletic. We've been watching their games on video, and they are very athletic offensively. They got good arms, and I know they've had some injury problems. I know they had some COVID issues early, and I think they missed the first 2 weekends of the season. They didn't even play. So they were able to beat FIU 2 games last weekend, and we got to be ready. If you don't respect your opponent, you don't respect the game, you'll get your teeth kicked in. And I know our guys will be up to the task. They've answered the bell all year long. So excited about another Conference USA weekend, and looks like we're going to have to battle the weather a little bit, and we'll do that. So we adjust and adapt. That's kind of one of our deals in our program, the ability to adapt, and we're having to play at 10 o'clock on Sunday. That'll be different. So we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to get it done and go out practice today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and get ready for Marshall.
Perfect. All right, any questions for Coach? Go ahead, Ben.
Coach, going back to game one, obviously it was a 3-3 game in the 7th. I think Fincher was at somewhere around 70, 75 pitches. What went into you guys' thoughts getting him out of there and go ahead and getting Krieger in the game in that tie spot right there?
Yeah, you know, I talked about this last night at the show a little bit, and to Fincher's defense, he didn't have his best stuff. It wasn't his best outing, and he'll tell you that. He was there last night and heard me say it. And to his defense and their guy, look, it's those guys are used to going on Friday night. They have their routine. All pitchers have their own routine. And we didn't allow them to get hot, get lathered up, and start throwing. We didn't want them doing that till we knew for sure we were going to play on Friday. But Fincher has a deal. He does his little workout in the morning, and I'm sure he went through all that. Mentally, they're ready to go on Friday night. And then you're told you're not going to play, and now they find themselves pitching at 12 o'clock on Saturday. It's different. It's out of their routine, and I thought his velocity was good. They obviously were taking good swings on him. I thought their offense did a lot better job this time around grinding out at bats, and it was hard for us to put them away. We couldn't strike them out very much, and that put pressure on our defense. And it seemed like the whole weekend. I mean, Tyler can look it up. Well, I don't know if we had a 1-2-3 inning. It seemed like they had runners on all the time. I mean, it just seemed like the whole weekend they had runners on base at some point. So a lot of stressful pitches, and McGillis hit the home run off of him. I just didn't think. I thought it was time to make the move. He threw a lot of pitches the weekend prior, 121 against Rice, and he was out of his routine. And he got us in the 7th inning. That's all you can ask from an ace. When he doesn't have his best stuff, he gets you deep into the ball game, and especially when you got to play 4 in 2 days with a chance to win. And he did that. He did his job. He gave us. We've rode him all year, and he gave us a chance to win the ball game and got us in the 7th. Just felt like Ben, he had done his job, and it was time to make a move.
Questions? Go ahead, Corey.
Wayne, how much would you make of a college baseball team's level of intensity, and how would you describe this particular group's level of intensity, and how important is it for a team to be intense?
Yeah, I think it's important. It's not football. It's not basketball. You're not running down on a kickoff and hitting people. So you got to dial it back a little bit. Sometimes we like to talk about scale of 1 to 10. 10 being you are running down on a kickoff, or I'm running through a brick wall. 1 being we're sitting here having coffee, talking. You kind of want to dial it down to about a 3 when you're hitting or when you're playing baseball, because if you get too amped up and you're too intense, I think it can work against you a lot of times. So you kind of got to find that happy medium. But as far as intensity of wanting to win and knowing what's at stake, like this weekend, I don't think there's any problem with our team. Our guys know it's a mature club. It's an older club. They've been through a lot, not only on the field but off the field, and they knew what was at stake. They're trying to win this league, and especially our side, and they know Southern Miss is the team that's kind of dominated it in recent years, and they wanted to go. Obviously, we did the job down there. Round 2, I thought we played well. I thought we played with intensity. I thought we played hard, and it is important. But, even after game 1 on Sunday, we lost 12-11, and, call them up and say, hey, I don't have a problem with the way we played. We got beat. Sometimes you get beat when you put yourself in competitive situations. Sometimes the other team's better, and Southern Miss was a little better in that game. And the key was turning around and finding a way to win the next one, and our guys did that. But yeah, I think it's important, obviously, to have intensity, to play hard and be locked in. But sometimes in baseball, if you get a little too amped up, I'm probably guilty of that. I probably was as a player, probably as a coach. That's why I like our staff. We all complement each other pretty well, and but it can definitely work against you in some ways on the baseball field.
Go ahead, Craig.
Coach, I don't know if players really looked at it this much, but for the second straight week, you guys are ranked 14th in the country. Do players look at that? Do players pay attention to that? And if so, what's the buzz kind of in the locker room when seeing that?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't talk about it, honestly. We've never mentioned it one time at a practice or a game or anything. I've never heard one player or any coaches talk about it. Sure they see it. I mean, how do they not? You can't hide anything from players anymore. They see everything before we see it. So I'm sure they check it, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't check it, see if we were still in the polls. You want to be in the polls, and I think we're playing well enough to be ranked. And but yeah, Chris, it's one of those things, and it ain't coach speak. I'm just speaking the truth here. We don't talk about rankings and regionals and all that stuff. We really just stay focused on what's ahead, and our team has done a really good job of that. I think that shows the maturity of our club, that they're looking forward to the next game, and they've answered the bell all year. They've never let us down, and it seems like when we have an opportunity to win a ball game, whether it's late or put somebody away, they continue to do it. And even through injuries, we've had some guys banged up and not in our lineup. It seems like somebody has stepped in and took on that role. If it's for a couple of games or a weekend or a week or whatever, it seems like we just had guys step up and produce when we needed them to the most. But yeah, it's nice to be ranked. You want to be recognized for your hard work and the schedule you've played and the body of work. But yeah, it's not something that I hear being talked about around the facility, and I know our coaches don't talk about it with each other or with the players.
Go ahead, Ben.
And Coach, you talk about, we've talked about so many times throughout the year the maturity of this team and the number of starts and games that they've all played. But does it surprise you at any point when, I think it was 11-5 in the sixth inning in that game one on Sunday, that this team, they truly are bought into the fact that they're not out of any game, regardless of score, with their ability to swing the bats.
Yeah, I think, especially against Southern Miss, when it's 5-0 and their pitching staff, look, that's a big time staff, top to bottom. Every guy they brought in, you guys saw it on the radar gun. You got freshmen 95, 97, and I think playing Arkansas and Tulane back to back helped us, prepared us for that. And even their coaches made comment, look, you guys were turning us around like nobody has. And yeah, we know our guys, they hit a lot. You say we hit because we hit. Our guys hit a lot. They're over hitting right now, I guarantee you. Before practice, they just love to hit. They're in our facility. They're on the field by themselves without any coaches, and we know we have that ability to strike. It may not happen, but when it's 5-0, but we hit the 4 spot, it's a hitter's day. You can see the flag, and what was it? 3 balls jumped out of the park in the first inning, 3 or 4. I know they hit 1, we hit 2, so there's you're probably not going to be able to score enough runs. But against a really good pitching staff like Southern Miss, I wouldn't say surprised, but more pleased that we didn't stop and were able to get runners on, whether it's drawing a walk and then an HBP and somebody splitting a gap or just getting a single and getting it going. And we know we have that ability that we can hit a ball out of the ballpark at 1 through 9 and we can split a gap or whatever we need to do. And just very proud of our guys. They never stopped. That's probably the most pleasing thing and makes me most proud as a coach. I got more text after this weekend from former players all over the country. I mean, some that I don't even know that, hey, that never been prouder to be a Bulldog after this week. Just the way we kept fighting. When you're coaching it and you're playing in it, you're not really seeing the big picture. You're just kind of locked in the moment, the inning, and getting through this inning, getting through the next inning, and you don't, till you sit back and digest it, you don't really see what everybody else probably did. But it was just, our guys never stopped. They never quit. They know they can win any game. They're never out of it. And for a coach, that's a great feeling, no doubt.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Coach. 5 years ago, you started your journey from Northwestern State to come over to Louisiana Tech. You're at a point in a program now where you're taking 3 or 4 from Southern Miss, or you're splitting with Southern Miss. Are you even amazed yourself as a coach with how far this program's come since you've arrived?
Yeah, I think probably not. If I think when you take into account the tornado, all that stuff, we went 2 years without a facility, and the most amazing thing to me when you sit back and always prescribe to the old saying, an artist never admires his work. You got to keep moving, and maybe one day when you sit back and look at all this or digest the season, and just none of those guys left. I mean, and they could have. We've said it before. It's well documented. We live in an age now where guys can leave and play and be eligible, and who would have blamed them? We didn't have a facility. We didn't have a locker room. We didn't have offices, and our coaches stayed. We were able to add Coach Gaspard, a tremendous addition to our staff, when we didn't have a field. And all our players stayed, and they just believed us, believed the vision. And I think through that, probably surprised how quickly we're at this point. But it's year to year. You got to keep moving, and recruiting so far out now, 2-3 years. You hope those guys come in and are able to continue to grow like these players have. You think about a Netterville and a Young and a Bates, and those guys have been in our program, Follis, Griffin, forever. Wells, how they've just continued to get better each and every year. That don't always happen. Sometimes kids regress, but these guys just have stayed with it. And I'd say, Chris, being what we've been through, it's probably surprising that we're where we are just because we didn't have the stuff we needed, didn't feel like to develop. But that just goes to show, man, it is what you make out of it. If it's one pitching machine or whatever, a couple of fungos, our guys work, and that's the main thing. They have a high work ethic. They like each other, being around each other, and when you treat the game right and you do things right, you're going to get rewarded. And I think you're seeing that our guys are being rewarded right now for their hard work.
Perfect. Anything else for Coach? Go ahead, Corey.
Lane, I believe it was, 3 appearances from Griff this past weekend. I think he pitched 2 total innings, couple hits, 1 unearned run. Do you feel like he's getting back to the Griff that we've all come to know?
Yeah, I think so. I thought early he did not have a good fall. He's never had a good fall, honestly, since he's been here. So you kind of take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I didn't think he was his normal self early on, and he didn't either. He'll tell you. His velocity's up now. I thought he threw a pitch the other day, 87. I saw up on our gun. So feel like, and he's able to do that because he throws from the low arm slot. There's not a lot of stress on his arm, and he doesn't throw very hard. And he's athletic. He's such a good athlete that he's not putting a lot of stress on his arm. So yeah, he's able to do that, pitch in multiple games. And right now, it's what he is. You know, we tell our guys, be who you are. Don't try to be something you're not. Be who God made you to be and what your ability tells you are, and don't try to be more than that. And Griff has bought into that. He knows who he is. He knows what his strengths and weaknesses are. And right now, he's 3 outs. Mike can get you 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. He might can navigate 2 innings, but he knows right now if they see him more than once, he's probably needs to get out of there. And right now, he's doing a tremendous job of that. And I really do believe he's getting back to his form and pitching like he's capable of doing. He's got to be getting close to the appearance deal. I need to get with Tyler and see how far away we are with that. Make sure we don't miss that opportunity. So, but yeah, very proud of Griff and how hard he's worked to get back to where he is now.